What's up, guys? Swappy here, and we're going to do something a little bit different than my normal Fortnite videos. We're going to do a quick unboxing and first impressions of the DT 1990 Pros from Beyerdynamic. I've been enjoying for probably a year now. I got these for Christmas last year, the 990 Pros, and they are by far my most favorite headphones I've ever worn. They're open back. They are sound amazing. I have them plugged into my Go XLR, so they're 250 ohm. They're just simply amazing and comfortable. My ears don't get tired or fatigued. I use them for work. I use them for video games. I use them for listening to music, and all around they're awesome. And so I decided after a year, I wanted to upgrade and see if I like the DT 1990 Pros even more. So let's go ahead and quickly unbox them and see what we think. Beyerdynamic Professional Audio. Pretty sweet. It's a nice case. Like when you get these set, they don't give you a case or anything like that. So now we're going to go ahead and take it out of the box. First thing I immediately tell is the build quality. Just a lot better. It's heavier, which might not be a good thing because if you're wearing them for a really long time. But let's look at this really quickly. You can see. And the other thing I noticed, the build quality, this is a little bit thicker. Comparing the two, yeah, maybe a little firmer actually. And this is all metal versus the plastic here, but a lot heavier. And the big thing is that detachable cable, which is phenomenal. Like this one, I do worry about the fact that this is hardwired in. If something goes wrong, it's gonna be hard to fix. The other thing about these, which both of them have, is this exposed wire. I have kids. My daughter's already kind of yanked on them a couple times, and so I'm worried about that. These ones have the same thing, but it looks like it's just a little bit more firm. Maybe even thicker cable. Yeah, it looks like a thicker cable. I don't know if you can see that. We'll see. Can't really tell, but it does feel a little bit thicker. It comes with two different kind of ear pads. So they have a balanced, and then they have this other one for like high accuracy or something like that. Let's put them on really quickly and see how they feel. Wow. Okay. So first impression, they're deeper. They're significantly deeper, and I don't hear myself as well. So I know that these ones, the DT 990s, are completely open back. There's a lot of openings in the grill to where you can hear really well. This one looks like it has a lot, but it is quieter. So there's some pros and cons to that. Outside noise isolation is a little bit better. Like I can still hear my family out in the background a little bit, but my voice isn't as clear. It seems a little bit more muddy, which if you're gaming and you're talking, you may talk a little bit louder because I don't use a monitor. So it comes with two cables to plug in your headphones. The first one is similar to what is already hardwired into your DT 990s, which is the springy one that you can stretch. And I think that one's like the 3-meter one. And then you have a longer one that is just straight. And each of them come with a detachable plug, which is nice because if you ever have a real receiver, most of them have the big jack. Whereas if you're using it in a Go XLR or in a computer or speakers, then it's going to be using the quarter. I think this is what, 3/8 or something like that. That is it in the bag. The case itself, really nicely laid out, has this place for the headphones, for your extra ear pads, and then a little pouch for your cables. So overall, really nice. They feel comfortable. I would say the pads are not as soft. So they already feel a little bit tighter on my head. I'm gonna loosen them up a little bit and see if that helps. So they feel tighter. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick sound test just to get my impressions of the two headsets. You're not going to really hear the music, obviously, because of DMCA, but you'll get my first impressions. I'm going to listen to about 30 seconds of each. I'll cut it down and give you my impressions. And we're going to do a Tool song called Sober. Okay, listen to this one. Just my impressions. I think the highs are good. I think the mids are okay or decent. The lows aren't thumping, but they're there. I can hear them. I like the sound. I'm used to it. Let's go ahead and plug in the 1990s and see if there is a difference. These are definitely much higher build quality. Okay, done with the test. So for a sound comparison, you know, I can't hear a complete difference. I think there's very subtle things. If I went back and forth, I could probably start pinpointing a little bit of differences. Maybe if I listen to them a little while, these are not broken yet, whereas my DT 990s are broken. They have hundreds and hundreds of hours on them. I'll say this though. I do think there's a little bit more bass, and I think I didn't notice any changing in the highs or the mids. So I think just maybe the pads or whatnot that gives it a little bit more bass. But overall, sound is very comparable. So if you like the sound on the DT 990s, you're gonna like the sound on the 1990s. All right. So in conclusion, comparing the two, I'm gonna start out with my quick first impressions. I have not given this thing any time. I've listened to them for maybe 2 minutes, and I have not played video games with them. And that's the reason why I bought these, was to play video games with. But my first quick impressions, like these sound amazing. The open back, my first open back headphones, these are awesome. I can still hear people in the room. So if somebody's talking to me, if they say something, I can hear them, which I like. It has a very wide sound stage. It helps me pinpoint where gunshots and stuff are happening when I play first person shooters. These are just phenomenal headphones. The build quality on these though is kind of lacking. I don't know how robust they are and how long they're gonna last. I've had them for a year. They're still together. I do worry about the little cables coming out, and the pads are getting pretty squished. So maybe I need to get some new pads. But overall, I give these a 9 out of 10. These are awesome. Moving on to the 1990s, the sound is very similar. I think maybe a little bit more bass with these ear pads. There is another set of ear pads. I'll try them probably later. The build quality here feels much better. It's metal on the back. This part is basically the same. So I might get the clicking sound that I get on the 990s. The isolation on this is a lot different. I'm just gonna put these on to kind of help. They're bigger, they're deeper. So they're a lot deeper than these ones. And so just me talking right now, I can still hear myself, but I don't hear, it's a little bit muddled. And so that may be a problem. So that's like, I stream and play video games 3 nights a week. And I like to be able to hear my wife who sits next to me, or if my kids need something from me during the day and I'm at work. I don't know how well that's going to be work. And since my voice is muddled, I might try to talk louder. That will be a concern because I'm going to be louder when I'm playing video games. But the isolation is also good, so that way I don't get distracted as much. So there's pros and cons. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you were in a position where you wanted to get some new headphones, 9 out of 10, highly recommend these. These are phenomenal. I've recommended these to a number of friends, and when they bought them, they loved them. Absolutely love them. I will not recommend people buy $500 headphones for maybe a little bit better sound, maybe. And that's only for maybe an audiophile or something that can really distinctly tell differences between headphones and headphones. Like I can tell the difference between closed back and open back. And if something's way off, I can tell. These were very similar sounding, obviously made by the same manufacturer, same product line, just a different model. But these are heavier, so they might weigh your head down a little bit more if you're playing video games, if you're live streaming, if you're working for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. I'm going to give them a full run. I don't know if I'll do a full review on them, but that is my concern with them. They are really nice looking, but you don't buy headphones for what they look like. And because they're meatier and thicker, I think that's where the weight is. Probably the drivers are a little bit different and stuff like that in them. First impressions, I like them. I'm going to give them probably an 8 out of 10 because of the price. Because these 990s, you can get these for $150 anytime during the year. These ones I got for $500. They're normally $550, $400 more for probably a marginal improvement. So that's why the score goes down a little bit, just from a first impression perspective. The value is just not there. So if you want to flex a little bit, saying that you can afford these, then go get them. But if you want the value and you want all the good sound and the open sound stage, the 990s, I highly recommend. If you want to see me and ask questions live, I'm on Twitch Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you have any questions, you can always comment down below. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, of first impressions type of reviews, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and put a comment down below. Thanks, everyone.